Vilches, but this is the closest we've come all week to a real cup tie. Quite simply, Chile in the red. The host country must beat Paraguay in the National Stadium to progress in this tournament. A point would be enough to see Paraguay through, but don't expect the locals to be too pleased with that outcome. Chile keep faith more or less with the side who served them in the 3 previous games. Contreras, though, is replaced in midfield by Miguel Ramírez, and Paraguay drops out too. Paraguay make 3 changes to the side beaten 4-1 by Argentina in Concepcion. Jaque, Cristaldo and Peralta all dropped. Struway, Zabala and Barrios all in the side. And an early free kick for Paraguay, and joined in the commentary position once again by Don Howe. Don, you saw Argentina turn over Paraguay the other night. How are they going to get back into this one?
Well, obviously, it's set up, it's a full house. All the eyes of the nation are on the Chilean team. They know exactly what they've got to do. They've got to win. Now, the Paraguayan team, obviously, if you look at the league, if they get a draw, they can get through. But I don't think these 2 teams are good enough at the back to come away, say, with a no-goal draw. I think Paraguay, as the Argentinians showed against them, they suffer with pace at the back. If somebody goes at them, they struggle.
Here's the man Yáñez. He's got tons of pace, number 7. Finds Estay. He'll run things in midfield for Chile. And Chile, who've never won the Copa América, pouring forward now, looking to put some early pressure on Paraguay. Rubio tries to steer it across the face of goal. Doesn't quite happen that way. Struway can bring it clear for Paraguay. González helps it forward. And Chile have set their stall out even in these early stages.
Gary, it's interesting, the Chilean team up front. Rubio and Yáñez have never played together in this tournament. Yáñez has always been on the subs bench. Rubio's come off in the second half. Yáñez has got on. This is the first time they've played together.
Here's Pizarro, and there were calls for him to be dropped after the defeat of Chile by Argentina. Lovely little cross to the back post. Yáñez was arriving. And Chilavert in the Paraguay goal just says, come on boys, let's just settle down. We've had 2 minutes, and it's been 2 minutes of almost intense Chile pressure.
The criticism on Pizarro, Gary, was that he missed perhaps 2.5 chances against Argentina, where he could have wrapped the game up. His general play has been super. He's been getting through that inside left position all the time.
Well, if that's the best that Paraguay can throw at Chile, the home fans won't be too disappointed. But this man here, Gabriel González, has scored 3 goals already in the competition.
It will be very tense there for Arturo Salah. He knows his team's got to do it tonight.
Chilean coach, I'm sure, has had stern words with his players. There's such a great deal of expectation inside this stadium. They came in to watch the last game between Peru and Argentina. They've been pouring into this stadium. Here's Rubio trying to get on the back pass from Suárez. And still Paraguay are not being allowed to settle in this match. It's interesting that Suárez is playing in the left back berth. He normally plays on the right. I understand he got 1 or 2 problems with the pictures from Santiago. We apologise for that. We'll try and get it right as soon as we can. It's all long-range shooting at the moment.
Yeah, Paraguay, the Paraguay team, Gary, yes, they've hit about 3 shots. Not really on target yet. And Chile has started off the usual way. They're pushing plenty of players forward, trying to win the ball back in the opponent's half.
Just look at the soldiers on the far side of the ground. Hoping they would have a busy night with this huge crowd. Pizarro now for Chile, the captain. For is Margas, the left back. Hooked that one in, and Suárez will bring it clear.
That's the problem with Margas. He's a good defender, Gary, but when he gets down that left wing, he's got no left foot. So he has to keep coming back onto his right foot to get any kind of cross or pass off.
Mendoza for Chile. Short ball finds Estay. That's a clever little pass. Yáñez left the ball behind. Sanabria just mopped up there for the Paraguayans. Garrido. Lovely little dummy by Rubio to try and lose his marker, who then fouled him. And Garrido is in a hurry to get on with the match. A match which Chile have to win to go into the next phase of the 1991 Copa América. Rubio, Margas. Did well to get his cross in there. Might come down to Yáñez. Steered away from danger by Rivarola. Throw in to be taken by Mendoza. Still Chile 0, Paraguay 0. Rubio with the cross. Yáñez looking for the header. Couldn't quite get there. Now a breakaway attack. Monzón lost the ball. Pizarro given away to Sanabria. That's a rather rugged challenge on Struway, who's playing on the right-hand side of midfield. What a very intimidating atmosphere for the referee, Jose Roberto Wright, the Brazilian, whose claim to fame was that he booked Paul Gascoigne in the World Cup semi-final, which led to Gazza's tears.
He's taken enough big games, Gary, to handle this one. He's well experienced, this referee. He should be able to handle all the tension and if any of the players get out of order, he should be able to deal with it.
I'd like to be in his shoes, though, if a Chilean goes down in the Paraguayan penalty area. He doesn't give the spot kick. He won't be a popular man. Garrido just quite couldn't get that in the first attempt and took it away from González at the second to steer the ball into the path of Toledo. Toledo has it now. He's had really an outstanding season.
It's so important to the team, to the Chilean team. Garrido and Toledo, the goalkeeper. Garrido does all the sweeping up, and he's got a good eye. He reads the breaks. If the opponents make a good break, he reads it well, knows when to step in. And Toledo sweeps up at the back. Although he's a goalkeeper, he plays well off his goal line, and he reads those through balls well. They're two super players.
Yáñez, who has it again. Turns it inside, Estay. Mendoza did well there, but he was being fouled. I suspect we're going to see the first yellow card of this game. González, the man who's booked. He has 3 goals in the competition, and now 1 yellow card. Still 0-0. Between Chile and Paraguay. Free kick then to Chile. Looking for Zamorano. In fact, there was some pushing there by Miguel Ramírez, the midfield player who's come into the Chilean side this evening. González, the man who was booked. Scored the winner in the 1-0 win over Bolivia on the friendly before the tournament, and on target 3 times during the Copa. Got the winner against Peru and a couple in the 5-0 victory over Venezuela. Yáñez helping it forward. Zamorano stumbled his way inside the Paraguayan box. Understand once again that our pitches aren't up to our usual high standards. We apologise for that. We'll try and rectify the problem from Santiago. Hope it's not spoiling your enjoyment of this game between Chile and Paraguay. A real crunch Captai in the 1991 Copa. Here's Mendoza for Chile. Here's Estay. Help through. Nobody there.
When I first saw the Chilean team, Gary, and I saw that they picked Yáñez with Rubio, with Zamorano at the front, I thought he'd done it to try and get some balance down this left side. But Rubio is playing like Contreras. He's left Contreras out and he's sitting just behind the front two. And they're still a little bit, they attack well down the right side, Chile. Down the left side, they don't get much.
Corner then to Chile. The weight of expectation on this team really is remarkable. Easy catch for Chilavert in the end. But all the newspaper talk over the past week is how Chile have never won the Copa America, how this is their big chance, hosting the competition. And it all seemed to go wrong with that 1-0 defeat. The hands of Argentina, something that both sides have in common. They both won 2 of their games. But Paraguay, with that 5-0 win over Venezuela, just have the slightly better goal difference and therefore only need to draw this game to go through to the next stage of the competition. A little run here. It was by Neffa.
Oh yes, without a doubt. I mean, the tension must have been building up in the Chilean camp. And the media never leave you alone, having been in this situation.
Confirmation of those Chilean results in the 1991 Copa, and the only hiccup against Argentina.
To be honest, Gary, the coach ought to be saying to the Chilean team now, look, don't expect to win the game in the first 20 minutes. Yes, if we can get an early goal, fine. But let's be patient and let's play and let's keep doing the things that we believe in.
Zamorano, Rubio, it's the first goal for Chile, and the stadium here in Santiago erupts because Rubio has given them a priceless lead. Chile 1, Paraguay 0. Well, Zamorano and Rubio almost knocked each other out the way as they chased that ball in the Paraguayan penalty area. But it was Rubio who got the decisive touch.
Well, it's worked. I mean, here again, it's come down the right side again, eluded the last defender and slipped it inside the goalkeeper's near post. A goalkeeper really shouldn't be beaten there. But give Rubio a lot of credit because he beat the last defender very, very well and then slotted it neatly inside the near post.
Well, that should enable the Chilean side to play with a little bit of confidence now. They've got their early goal 12 minutes into the game. And it just might settle a few nerves, not only down on the pitch, but also on the terraces too.
They're not good enough at the back, though, Gary, to think that that's going to win the game for them. Both sides are defensively poor.
Yáñez popping up on the left-hand side this time. Sanabria. Monzón. Well, they're still just taking in that goal and what it means to Chile. Rivarola, meanwhile, is in trouble. He's sitting down inside his own half of the field, having been injured in a collision. There's Rubio. Yáñez. And Zamorano offside. Well, we can look at that goal again. They really were itching to get the first shot on goal here, the pair of them, weren't they?
Well, the ball was played into Zamorano, and he half-turned, and in his turn, he laid it off. I mean, it happened quite accidentally in its way, and the ball went to Rubio. His turn wasn't tight enough, but the ball went on into Rubio, and then Rubio did all the clever stuff to get the ball into the net.
Suárez. Short pass, finding González. Struway looking for the ball as well. Rubio, there's a handball there. And a free kick to Chile, who lead by a goal to 0. There's real overtures in this game of the Libertadores Cup final between Coca-Cola and Olimpia. Many of these players played in that final. How about that for a fiercely struck shot by the left-back Margas?
If he gets inside on his right foot, he can do that. I mean, that's where his good foot is, his right foot. And obviously he's got power in that right foot.
Pizarro. He's done well to get into the dead ball line here. Can he pull it back? He can. 2-0. Zamorano. He's done it again. His fourth goal of the competition. Set up by his captain, Pizarro. His 3 previous goals have all been headers. This time it was a tap-in. It's Chile 2, Paraguay 0, and 2 goals now inside the space of 3 minutes.
Pizarro's run from this inside left spot, first of all, a lot of determination to get past that last defender. Then he composed himself, pulled it back to the edge of the 6-yard box for Zamorano. Super play from the captain Pizarro. Here he comes, gets it onto his right foot. He's done all the hard work, gets his head up, looks to the edge of the 6-yard box, just rolls it into Zamorano, who tucks it away under the keeper.
And the Chilean side, Don, looks so pumped up for this game.
Oh yes, and rightly so. They knew exactly what they had to do.
Well, Paraguay really are the little boy lost at the moment. There can't be many of the 71,000 spectators inside this stadium who are going to be shouting for them. Intimidating atmosphere. They're 2 goals behind, and they must at least get a point from this game to continue in this competition. And it's all Chile at the moment.
I always think psychologically, which is the best way to be in. If before a game, if you draw, you can get through, or you've got to win to get through. If you've got to win to get through, your mind's made up. If it is that somebody says to you, well, if you draw, you get through, you don't know whether to say, well, should we go for the win, or should we sit back on the draw? So Paraguay were in that situation. Chile knew they've got to get out there and do the stuff. And they have. They're delivering.
And just out of your picture, a couple of moments ago, Paraguay have been forced into a substitution, and their central defender, Cristaldo, has now come on, I think, for Rivarola, who injured his left knee about 5 minutes ago. Guirland. Margas showed too much of the ball to Sanabria and loses possession. Suárez. Confirmation of that substitution. Rivarola off. Cristaldo on. I hope we're enjoying the game. Brought to you in association with Lucas A. So, Estay. Guirland breaks it all up in midfield. Surely an offside flag. Oh, what a splendid save by Toledo. Arguably the best save of the competition so far.
He's an outstanding goalkeeper, Gary. I mean, it looked tight on offside. The referees let it go because the linesmen let it go. The fellow takes it well. It's hits too hard on the volley, and he makes a good reactionary save. But he's been doing it all the way through the competition.
Let's have a look at that one again. I suspect it was González, fed by Guirland. Chile just caught a little bit flat there.
When the ball was played, he wasn't offside. But Toledo kept his head, kept his eye on the ball, and reactionary got his left hand to it and knocked it round the post.
Struway for Paraguay, number 15. Estay. Estay again, number 20. Has Pizarro available. who made that splendid second goal. Yáñez, Pizarro, Rubio, who scored the first goal. That looks suspiciously like handball against Yáñez. And headed out by Cristaldo.
A nice little triangle of play there. Rubio, Yáñez, Pizarro. Keeping possession, waiting to get round the players who were coming to close them down, and in the end they did.
2-0, Chile lead Paraguay after 19 minutes of this last Group A game. Estay drives it back in again. Zamorano tried to help it on. Mendoza.
I think the player who's having a super game for the Chileans is Estay. Gary, everything seems to be coming from him. He's playing right half and he's playing balls into the front players all the time.
Mendoza trying to get back to take the ball off Suárez, and he does just that, then gives it back to Suárez. Estay, your favourite player so far, Yáñez! That could have been the goal of the competition, couldn't it? We've seen the save of the competition. That was a smashing 50-yard pass from Estay to pick out Yáñez.
Yes, it was a nice angle ball over the back of the defender, playing the ball in the back of the defence. And that's what he does well, Estay. He plays forward all the time.
Ten is Monzón. Neat return, Guirland, Neffa waiting in the middle. Away by Margas. And the Chilean drums are beating in Santiago. Decision that goes against Neffa. Referee waves an advantage. And it's Vilches, or rather Margas, who can bring it clear for Chile. Interesting that Chile won just one of their 7 pre-Copa internationals. That was against Uruguay in Santiago. They started the competition so well, with those wins over Venezuela and Peru, before that defeat against Argentina. A match that many people predict will be the final itself, or the final confrontation to decide the Copa.
I honestly believe that if the Chilean team could get the same balance down the left side and the same attacking flair down the left side as they've got down the right side, they'd be an outstanding team.
How much do you think Mendoza has got to do with that?
Mendoza and Estay are the two main. They set things up all the time down that right side, Gary. Their service to the front players is super.
Zamorano.
I've got to say this, that Yáñez and also Rubio run to the right better than they run to the left. And sometimes that in itself decides the defender's mind on where they can play the ball.
Monzón. González. Estay breaks it all down before Miguel Ramírez, the Colo-Colo player, is booked, or rather is fouled, and there's a sending off here because González, with his second bookable offence, is sent off. It goes from bad to worse for Paraguay. And he takes a wild hack at Ramírez there.
That was a silly thing to do, considering he's already been booked. He's in control of the ball. There's 2 defenders come and try and take it off him. All he's got to do is keep his head, but they take it away from him. He loses his head and lifts his foot. Now in South America, you lift and show 6 studs, you're off the pitch. More times than not.
Confirmation that the leading goal scorer of Paraguay, Gabriel González, has been sent off after 24 minutes of this game. who was looking very, very tough for Paraguay after 20 minutes being 2-0 down. With their leading goal scorer off, it looks nigh impossible for them.
González and Neffa are the two front players. I mean, they are the players who, more times not, take the chances. Now watch him there, he's in control of the ball, there's no problems, he twists and turns, he has two players confront him, he loses it, and then all of a sudden he does a silly thing, he puts his foot up and across the defender.
So Paraguay, 2-0 down and a man down as well. Here's Pizarro, the captain of Chile. That's a splendid ball by Rubio. Yáñez was racing onto it, and Chilavert, the real Zaragoza goalkeeper, was brave and decisive. That's a rather snazzy pair of shorts on too. Incidentally, Miguel Ramírez is back on the field and fit again after that little tussle with Gabriel González, who was sent off for his part in the incident.
He did make a lot of the challenge, to be honest. The defender made a lot of the challenge. That couldn't have hurt him.
Tell you what, it's hurt Paraguay. And the singing you can hear from the terraces in the National Stadium in Santiago are the voices of Chilean spectators who are absolutely delighted at the turn of events so far. We're 26 minutes into a game which will decide who goes through to the second phase of the competition. Chile lead Paraguay by 2-0. Rubio and Zamorano the goal scorers, and Paraguay have had their leading goal scorer, Gabriel González, sent off. Margas, or rather Garrido, Estay, Mendoza. Oh, the intricate interpassing here is a joy to behold. Yáñez just couldn't screw it back before it crossed the dead ball line, and Yáñez in a close encounter with the advertising hoarding.
It's very neat, that type of play. When they all play these little give and goes off each other, it's neat and it's nice to watch.
You work for hours on the training ground trying to get that, don't you?
Yes,
Don?
you do. You're asking the players for played simple and move. Played simple and move. Little 5-yard passes off each other.
It really has been the hallmark of Liverpool Football Club in England down the years, that sort of play. They work on it in training. It's such a joy to see when an international side in such a prestigious competition can come up with it.
Yes. They seem to have a natural flair for it on the continental countries in South America. They do love to play a 1-2. It seems to be a very important part of how they think about the game.
Incidentally, Chile last reached the last four of the Copa in '87. They went on to the final, which they lost to Uruguay by 1-0. Guirland is shoved off the ball and shoved out of it by that resolute Chilean defence. Hope you're enjoying this game. It certainly is full of excitement. Our coverage of the Copa brought to you in association with Adidas. Yáñez seems to be all right. And it's Rubio who has possession. Headed clear by the substitute Cristaldo. Only as far as Pizarro, who really ran out of space before he delivered his cross.
He's another left-sided player who's only got a right foot. You know, I mean, when he made that goal for Zamorano, it was all off his right foot. And Margas, the left back, he's the same. He's all right-footed.
suppose the real surprise about team selection, Don, was the leaving out of Contreras, the midfield general of Chile. It looks at this stage as though that gamble has paid off.
Yeah, well, obviously he's thought he needs goals. Yáñez, when he's gone on, he's played very well. And Rubio, obviously, always in the first half played well. So I suppose he said, well, we need an extra attacker here. Contreras only got in the game if he made runs from midfield. He's virtually, instead of playing kind of just 2 up now, he's virtually playing 3 forward.
Here's Barrios. Paraguay. Guirland. Suárez. Guirland again. He's asking a lot for Barrios to get there. How about that for defending with a little bit of style and flair under pressure? Easy to do when you're 2 ahead. And we've had half an hour of this game. Chile 2, Paraguay 0. It's Chile in possession. Rubio. Struway loses possession so easily. Really is disheartening to your teammates when that happens. Miguel Ramírez in the wars again. The referee has allowed the advantage, and here's Estay. Rubio. Zamorano hung on the air as if suspended by a string, trying to get his header in on goal.
He was about 2 inches too short there on his jump. But he gave it his lot. I mean, he threw himself at the ball.
But there's a good deal of electricity between these two sides, and no doubt sparked off by that Libertadores Cup meeting of Colo-Colo and Olimpia, which Colo-Colo won 3-0 over 2 games at Libertadores Cup final in early June. It's going the Chilean way again this evening.
Well, the Paraguayans, in general, I mean, I remember in the World Cup in Mexico, they always had a good morale. They never packed in, whatever the situation was. And they're not going to do that now. I know they know exactly what they've got to do. I mean, they're 2-0 down. They're down to 10 men. They have no alternative but to give it their lot. Or they're back home to Paraguay.
But they're only playing Neffa up front on his own. I mean, they're not going to pull a 2-goal deficit back like that, are they?
I agree. They're trying to get Guirland now. Guirland has got the important role of trying to support him as much as he can.
Mendoza. Estay. Struway, number 15. Yáñez, who's back in the land of the living once again. Zamorano, looking for Yáñez. Cristaldo makes the clearance and was fouled in doing so. It'll be a free kick to Paraguay, who are 2 behind. And a man down as well was Gabriel González, who was sent off midway through this first half. Must have been painful, right on the back of the heel of Rubio. He'll have sore Achilles tendons in the morning.
It'll all be worth it. If they get through, Gary, it will all be worth it. And I'll bet you he's ready for the next match as well.
Mendoza supplied the pass. Suárez supplied the kick on the back of the heels. Ramírez, Margas, Pizarro, Margas with a deep cross, Zamorano. Barrios, who was fouled. That has to be the most unusual combination of jersey and shorts I think I've ever seen in a goalkeeper.
Goalkeepers' fashions now have gone crazy, Gary. I mean, the teams in general now, I mean, they've tidied up everybody. I mean, they've tidied up all the players now. There's no shirts out of shorts. There's no stockings on your ankles. And yet the goalkeepers, I mean, the colours they wear now, I mean, it's just got out of control.
Well, they say that they're the most unusual player in the side, aren't they? They always say you have to be a bit round the twist to be a goalkeeper.
Well, in the rules, I think they've got about 4 or 5 colours they can wear. A yellow and a red and a white. But now it's a mixture. It's real kind of all sorts of colours.
Chilavert, very psychedelic.
Well, I don't think his colours in the rule book. I mean, I can't see his. I think it's a purple and red shirt. Yeah, it's a kind of a purple front and a red collar.
Well, the important statistic is that he's let a couple of goals in tonight. The referee telling Sanabria, the captain, off in no uncertain terms as well. Paraguayan wall and have to retreat about 5 more yards before Chile can take this free kick. With 9 minutes to go to half-time, and Chile lead Paraguay by 2 goals to 0. Yáñez lining himself up, Rubio chips it in, looking for Yáñez again, pulls it back across the face of goal. Oh, it would have been so delicious had that one worked.
Quite a clever little free kick. It looked as though they were going to go for the near post with an in-swinger. Yáñez ran over it and looked as though he was just a dummy, and then it was a nice little chip over the wall into his run. He pulled it across the 6-yard box, and there was not enough bodies to get on the end of it.
Incidentally, Sanabria have been booked by the referee, Jose Roberto Wright from Brazil, who's sent off 1 and booked 2. Struway wins himself a throw in number 15. He's one of the players coming into the Paraguayan side tonight to give them a little bit more muscle following that 4-1 defeat against Argentina. It's not going their way tonight because Chile have really turned the screw in the opening half hour. And here they come again. Pizarro finding Estay, measures his cross. Zamorano did the intelligent thing, turned it back.
The midfield players haven't got up, Gary, that's what he was. I mean, he did well, really. Terrific jump on the back post. He's trying to knock it down into the D and nobody around.
As I say in football, the second generation ball was not invited. Well, the midfield players didn't get there in time. Here's Yáñez for Chile. Rubio trotting across. Has possession now, Rubio. Garrido's in trouble. The referee just saying, cut it out. But things not going right for Paraguay. 2-0 down here against Chile. And their big upset so far, that 4-1 defeat against Argentina, coming on the heels of that 5-0 success over Venezuela. Once again, when they get out of the major stoppage, whilst Garrido, the Coca-Cola player, receives some attention. Man who played in the World Cup finals of '82. played in all Chile's games so far. He sweeps behind the defence. Very effective he is too.
He's very good on the defensive side. He reads the play super. He knows when to step in. He knows when to hold the play up. Very good. The only criticism of him is he never breaks out. He's done it once tonight. He never breaks out into midfield and makes the extra man.
Incidentally, if you've tuned in a little bit late, wondering what happened to Argentina versus Peru, our first match on Screen Sport earlier on, Argentina beat Peru by 3-2. They have a 100% record in the Copa so far and are through to the second phase of the competition. Estay. Rubio. Yáñez misses out. Mandy Cristaldo, a good deal taller than Yáñez. Is Monzón. He plays in the centre of midfield. There's a man sweeping up, the man we were talking about a couple of moments ago. Garrido from the Coca-Cola Club. Here's a man who plays his football in Switzerland. Rubio, wide to Yáñez. Zamorano arriving, and they always seem to be struggling when Zamorano tries to head the ball inside the Paraguayan box. He climbs so high and strong for the ball. Barrios, Guirland. Four minutes to half-time. Chile 2, Paraguay 0. Paraguay down to 10 men after striker Gabriel González was sent off. Estay, cut out by Cristaldo.
That's one of the first passes he's given away. Estay is a super player. Great feeder of the front players.
Sanabria then with a free kick for Paraguay. They'll leave it to Cristaldo. Sanabria. Guirland gives it away again. Rubio. Mendoza. Well, I imagine the Chilean crowd are pretty happy with the way things have shaped up in the opening 45 minutes. The match, remember, Chile have to win to go through to the next phase of the Copa América. They lead by 2-0. And you have to say, Don, that they've been very brave and positive, and that's why they're in this commanding position.
I've got to say, this guy, they've played brave and positive virtually in every game. They just got punished against the Argentinians. They got punished by superior front players. They've always been a bit vulnerable at the back. I mean, every time they've played, they look as though they can't keep things tidy at the back. But going forward, absolutely super.
Rubio. Margas with a cross looking for Zamorano. Picked up by Ramírez. And they're playing with a good deal of self-assurity now. Chile, and they have possession. Yáñez. Estay. There's an offside flag on the far side. That of Ernesto Felipe of Uruguay. That wouldn't have counted had that one have gone in. And we're inside the final minutes of the first half. Mendoza. Ramírez picks up for Chile. Still so much fluidity about the Chilean side. Times they not only look like they've got a one-man advantage, but also a two- and three-man advantage. Sanabria for Paraguay. They really have been outplayed, outmaneuvered, and outthought by this Chilean team in the first half. And we're now playing stoppage time at the end of the opening 45 minutes. Monzón, number 10, a midfield player. The referee wants Paraguay to get on with it. Had quite a few stoppages in the first half. Had a handball against Yáñez. Toledo's made one outstanding save in the first half. That from González. And there was a hint of offside about it when González had the ball inside the Chilean penalty area, but Toledo didn't wait for the offside flag, and he really saved Chile on that occasion. Guirland takes a free kick. Away by Margas. Very impressive first half. Very quickly, Don, your thoughts on that opening 45 minutes?
Well, I would think that Arturo Salah will go in and he'll be quite happy with that first half. He knows they're now in the driving seat. He will be telling them to play the ball simple and early. Get the Paraguayans chasing the ball. Run the legs out of them.
So at half-time, Chile 2, Paraguay 0, and Paraguay down to 10 men after Gabriel González. Already went wrong for Paraguay in the opening 20 minutes with that, when they conceded those 2 goals and had that sending off as well. What happens when your game plan disappears after 20 minutes, Don Howe?
Well, obviously, I mean, the Paraguayans know exactly what they've got to do. Unless they pull this game around, they go home. So they know exactly where they stand. For Chile, what they've got to do is they've got to keep finding the extra man by playing it simple and early to each other.
And that's exactly what they did in the first half. Their football flowed. The crowd were enthusiastic and enthralled. And it resulted in 2 goals from Rubio and from Zamorano, now the joint leading goal scorer in this competition, along with Batistuta of Argentina. And that goal by Zamorano, the 52nd in the Copa America so far. Not bad in 18.5 games in a competition we suggested might be a little bit sterile when it came to goals.
Without a doubt. I mean, most of the games have been highly entertaining. I mean, more times than not, it's kept your attention. You know, you don't turn around or look at your wrist to see what the time is as the game's going on. Most of these games, you've kept your attention on the pitch.
And all these goals in Group A. So the goal-scoring theme continues in the second week of the competition. It's Chile in possession, playing from left to right in the second half. They have possession now with their captain, Pizarro. Estay calling for the ball. It's swept out to this near side where Mendoza has it. Pizarro again. Margas. Zamorano climbing for that one. Didn't quite come his way. Mendoza picks it up again for Chile. Great little piece of play by Mendoza. The back heel finds Estay. And Chile have started the second half brightly as they ended the first.
Yeah, well, if they keep doing what they did then, when the crosses go in, if the midfield players get up to the edge of the D, just outside the box, then when the ball gets knocked out by a Paraguayan player, they pick it up again and go back at them. In the first half, the midfield players were not getting there. They were sitting kind of middle of the Paraguayan half and let the Paraguayans pick up the knockdowns and come out with the ball. Margas
for Chile. Great little flick off then to find Margas again. That looks so dangerous, Chile coming forward. And then they confound me by coming up with a very disappointing cross, which is meat and drink to Chilavert. And the Paraguayan goal. '15 is Struway. Incidentally, if Chile do win this match, and it's looking increasingly likely that they will probably play Colombia in their first match in the second phase of the competition. Colombia looking like they might just win Group B. A lot will depend on tomorrow night's matches. You can see the Copa América live and exclusive here on Screen Sport. Estay looking for Yáñez, intercepted though by Cristaldo. Here's Suárez. Five is Vilches. Suárez for Paraguay. Guirland. The Paraguayan side really look like they don't believe in themselves, do they?
No. From the very start, it looked as though I wouldn't say they packed it in, but it didn't look as though they were playing to say, well, you know, we can get through here, we can get into this, into the next groups. There's no conviction in their play.
Sanabria, the captain. And how Paraguay need their captain now to steer them forward once again, because they seem to be going backwards for most of the first half.
They need a goal, Gary. If they could just get a goal from somewhere, that would lift everybody, and they'd start to believe that they could get back in this game.
We've had 5 minutes of the second half. Chile still lead 10-man Paraguay by 2-0. Pizarro. My fear, Don, you know, is that Chile might shut up shop before too long and say, hey, we're 2-0 ahead, we're playing a team, they've only got 10 men now, we don't have to do any more.
Yeah. I'll say this, the crowd are not happy. I mean, because they knocked a reverse pass there back to the sweeper, they were giving it the whistle. So the crowd want them to keep going forward.
Pizarro. Estay. Zamorano waiting patiently in the middle. It never came his way, though. Sanabria. Suárez. Sanabria again. Guirland. Looks like Guirland has picked up a knock on his ankle there. As Don was saying, the crowd want Chile to get on with it and put increasing pressure on the Paraguayan goal. 2-0 they lead, but wouldn't it be impressive to sign off Group A with a 5-0 success or something like that? It's not inconceivable that could all happen in the next 40 minutes or so. Guirland with a free kick. Flicked on, there's openings here for Paraguay. They can keep it in play. Neffa back across the face of goal.
There's a lot of slack marking there at that free kick. He came in, it got flicked to the back post, and no one wanted to go with the player who got into the byline. That's where they let themselves down, the Chileans. They're poor defensively.
Well, in fairness, Don, their defence hasn't really been tested tonight. And here's Sanabria for Paraguay. It's been a very disappointing performance by the Paraguayans. They've won themselves a free kick here for the foul on Louis Monzón. The man who's scored 3 goals in this competition. The golden boy at the moment of the competition is Zamorano. Meanwhile, Ramírez has been booked for that foul. Zamorano, incidentally, of course, 4 goals in the Copa this week. Guirland inevitably involved at the free kicks for Paraguay.
It's an unusual wall, it's a split wall, Gary. You don't see those, it's an old-fashioned thing, that one.
Gave Guirland 2 opportunities to strike the ball at the Chilean goal, neither of which was successful. It's a goal kick.
They have a split wall so that the goalkeeper can take the centre of the goal. That means, say, instead of having a wall that pushes the goalkeeper over to one side, if you have a split wall, and obviously the space is in the middle of the wall, because you get perhaps 3 on one side of the wall, 2 on the other side of the wall with the space between, then the goalkeeper can find his position in the centre of the goal from the free kick.
Yáñez. Zamorano. Yáñez again sprints to get the ball, pulls it back delightfully. Rubio was arriving on the back post. That's more like the Chile we have become to know and love in this competition so far. Garrido. Estay, those two have worked so well together in this game. Zamorano pushed very wide for Mendoza. Estay tested Chilavert on the near post. Really, a goalkeeper of Chilavert's class shouldn't really be beaten in that sort of position.
No, he shouldn't. But the Chilean attack was a lot better. It had a little bit of purpose about it. Playing it simple early, moving it on, until they got down this right side again.
Smashing tackle that time by Miguel Ramírez. And here's Yáñez, number 7. The man who's given that Chilean attack some sparkle over the past couple of games. Guirland gives it away to Mendoza, very disappointingly. Rubio slides it in, looking for Mendoza, and it's set up nicely for Chilavert. Guirland, Sanabria. Estay. And the well-oiled Chile machine is beginning to purr again. They appeal for a penalty now after Yáñez was hauled over. And they've won the spot kick as well.
I'm not surprised, Gary. I mean, the defender pushed him off the ball.
Cristaldo was the offending player. He bumped into Yáñez.
It was a super little run. The defender half-read it, went with the player, and then he pushed him on the end of it. Watch it here. I mean, he's not even looking at the ball. He's got close to Yáñez, and he's just hit him off the ball. He's not even looking at the ball.
Well, they can argue all they like, but Chile have a chance to make it 3-0 from the penalty spot. It didn't happen quite as quick as that. But Chile were quick to get Yáñez into the box, and they've won themselves a penalty to be taken by their captain, Pizarro. We've had nearly an hour of the game. Chile 2, Paraguay 0.
Which side, Gary? Which side?
I'll go for left.
Goalkeeper's right, I think.
Here's Pizarro, and he saved the spot kick. A very, very weak penalty kick indeed by the captain, who laid on a goal for Chile in the first half, but can't convert that chance in the second. We both got it wrong, Don.
Yes. Well, he never really, like you said, it was a pull kick.
Rubio.
I mean, there's no zip in the ball, was there? I mean, the goalkeeper, all right, he was just a little bit off his line, the goalkeeper. But there was no zip in the kick. Here he comes, side foots it to the goalkeeper's left. He read it easily and just dropped on it. It didn't even look as though it had reached the goal.
Well, maybe that's just the spark that Paraguay need to ignite their hopes in this game. Because they certainly looked out of it at 2-0 down, and had that one gone in, it really would have been good night, Santiago.
You can bet your bottom dollar, Gary, that Arturo Salah was saying that at half-time. He was saying to his players, look, play with patience, played simple, played early, but let's get the third goal. Let's kill the game off. That's what they wanted.
Now, Paraguay with this free kick.
The split wall.
Inevitably, Guirland standing over it. Neffa got hold of it as well. He wasn't too far away from pulling Paraguay back into this match. But it stays Chile 2, Paraguay 0. Our coverage of the Copa brought to you in association with Lucozade. Pizarro. Jose Cardozo warming up for Paraguay. Chile will want to make amends after missing that penalty chance. Perhaps it's coming now. Sanabria again, deep in consultations with the referee. He's already been booked. Paraguay have already lost one player. Neffa. That really should have been a more clinical finish by Neffa.
That's what I say about the Chileans. Not only did Neffa be in a position if it had connected with his volley, but there was an extra player behind Neffa that they don't seem to pick up. I mean, they're playing with a sweeper. They play virtually a zonal back four in front of a sweeper. You would think it would be so simple to pick up the opponent's forwards, but I don't think they talk. I don't think they work off each other.
Mendoza, number 15. Guirland. Monzón. And Garrido has possession for Chile. It's almost as if all Chile's good play in the opening 12 minutes of the second half culminated in the penalty, and they've just gone off the boil a little bit, and now here they come again. Yáñez with that lovely deep cross. Estay, oh, what a goal! What a volley by Estay! They're right back on the boil now. Chile 3, Paraguay 0, and Chile now have booked their place in the second phase of the Copa América 1991.
I would say there's be about at least 10 passes in that build-up. They played some lovely little flighted balls at each other on the halfway line. The cross was nice and deep, and the volley was perfect. Nice deep cross to the back post. Estay watches it, keeps his eye on it, laces into the ball, flew past the goalkeeper.
His first goal of the Copa. Goal number 53 of the tournament, and probably one of the sweetest.
Yes, it was a super goal, and I think that's the one that, as you just said, will clinch it for them.
Struway for Paraguay. There really is no way back for the Paraguayans now. They started this game knowing that all they needed was a point to be sure of going into the next phase of the competition. And they came up against a determined Chilean side who played with invention and craft and a good deal of bravery too. And they're now 3-0 ahead against Paraguay's 10 men. And who knows, maybe there's more goals in this match yet. Rubio teasing the Paraguayan defense. Oh, here's Neffa. Well, Toledo with a deliberate handball outside his penalty area. Now, what's the referee going to do here? It's Toledo's 29th birthday today. And he's booked. No birthday card, but a yellow card instead.
Well, I would definitely think that would be a sending off in England. That is a professional foul.
Neffa's shot could have been looping up. You just don't know, do you?
He's chipping the goalkeeper, isn't he? I mean, it's got a chance to bounce into the net.
And the Université Católica player, maybe a little bit fortunate to stay on. So, free kick which Guirland will take. Which cleared the crossbar. He's probably been one of Paraguay's best players in the Copa over the last week or so, Guirland. He's really been operating in the engine room of the Paraguayan midfield.
Very influential midfield player, and he gets forward a lot. You know, he gets these long-distance shots in.
How about that for a smashing pass to pick out Yáñez, who did ever so well to find the dead ball line and deliver the cross. Meanwhile, Neffa has gone off for Paraguay, and Cardosa, who plays for the St. Gallen club in Switzerland and a teammate of Rubio of Chile, he has come on. So two St. Gallen players on the field, Rubio of Chile and Cardoso of Paraguay. (3-0) to Chile. They've missed a penalty, and they're playing against the 10 men of Paraguay, who have possession with Sanabria. One for Cardosa to chase, the substitutes. And he wins a corner. Our coverage of the 1991 Copa América brought to you in association with Adidas. So the 3-quarter point of the game. Chile leading 3-0. Corner to Paraguay. Yáñez. That's quite a cynical tackle, I think, by Barrios. Stop Yáñez in his tracks. Not many players have managed to do that so far. He's got a good deal of speed on the ball, hasn't he?
Well, he's got beaten. He just steps across. The defender just steps across Yáñez and stops him going through. He's got to run for goal once he gets through, and the referee doesn't even book it.
He is using his yellow card here for that rather crude challenge. Really was a cynical hack. And Monzón. Oof, that really was a very, very high tackle on Yáñez.
He's over the top, Gary.
Rubio. Yáñez again, he seems to be all right. Finds the side netting, though.
Well, they play those balls so well. I mean, they pick the ball up kind of just outside the penalty box on the right-hand side here, and they play through the defenders, and they just make little angle runs through the defenders into the box like that. All they've got to keep doing is put it across that 6-yard box.
And number 7, Yáñez, missed Chile's first game of the Copa against Venezuela through suspension. He was sent off against Boca Juniors in a Libertadores Cup semi-final, but his arrival in the Chilean team has been quite explosive in the past week or so. Guirland. And Suárez cross, hopelessly overhit. That cross could have been timed with a sundial. Pizarro, the captain of Chile, is coming off. Well, they give him a warm round of applause despite the fact that he's missed a penalty. And Ivo Basset, midfield player, who plays for Necaxa in Mexico. In fact, he's Jaime Vera, who plays his football in Greece. He comes on. Toledo is the captain in the absence of Pizarro. I think they all want to come on, don't they, Dom?
Oh yeah, I mean, it's always a good time to come on when your team are playing well and they are in front. You can go out there and express yourself, and you can get involved in all the attacks.
There's Rubio with another Chilean attack. A little bit of space for him too. How about this? And Chilavert is saying, how on earth are you expecting me to stop this flood of Chilean attacks if you're not prepared to put your body in front of the ball? Rubio with the corner. Chile leading 3-0.
Well, I'll say this about goalkeepers, Gary. They don't like anyone shooting at them. That's what they're there for. But if someone gets, and they're all the same, I mean, in England it's exactly the same. If someone gets a shot in, the goalkeepers absolutely complain like mad at the defenders, as though obviously they should have done something about it. But really, at the end of the day, that's what they're there for.
I think he was complaining that the player was virtually unchallenged before he shot.
Yes.
Monzón, Estay, or rather Struway. Oh, this is a neat Paraguayan build-up now. Before Garrido sticks his size 9s in the way. And Chile win it back. Rivera. They really are stringing a lot of passes together now. Well, he must be a very happy coach indeed, the man with the moustache, Arturo Salah, who studied a little bit of football in England, along with Italy and France. He really has got this Chilean side working well, and here they come again. Estay, Rubio waiting on the near post. Here is Rubio. It looks so easy, and then he makes a real mess of it.
I thought he should have got the volley in. I mean, it was just coming to the back post nicely. Zamorano had read it, that he could let it go through to him. All of a sudden he decides to trap it and then have to beat the last defender. And he goes on a poor angle.
Suárez just got his body in between himself and the goal and did enough to put Rubio off. It really has been a football match that's flown by, mainly due in part to Chile's desire to attack Paraguay, and in doing so they've been highly entertaining.
Yes, they have. They've been entertaining all the way through the tournament, Gary.
And remember, Chile are currently banned from the World Cup until 1994 after one of their players, Roja, feigned injury in a World Cup qualification match against Brazil in an attempt to get the match abandoned. Chile still hope to convince FIFA to lift the ban in time for them to take part in the qualifying sections for the 1994 World Cup competition. Would be a shame if this Chilean team were to go unrecognised because of that ban, because they have some very exciting players now have come to the fore, including this man Zamorano, number 9.
Without a doubt. I mean, if they played this way in the World Cup, I mean, they would grace the World Cup as one of the good attacking teams.
Another wasted opportunity for Paraguay. Chilavert's goal kick didn't find Suárez. And here's Rubio. Estay. Vera. Wide now to Margas. Whoa! Bit of Latin American excitement from Rubio.
Yeah, he volleys that one, to be honest. The one before was a lot easier than this. I mean, this is the old red bicycle kick, as they call it.
Now, Rubio would have made a name for himself if that one found its target.
You've got to be spot on with your timing on that kick, Gary.
Vera, number 18. Vera, incidentally, came on in the first match for Chile in the Copa against Venezuela. Played 20 minutes in that game. Five is Vilches, who scored the opening goal of the Copa America. Seems a long time ago now. That was goal number 51. That was goal number 1, rather. We've had goal number 53 now. That one by Estay, that splendid volley. Well, Bassey is going to get a chance to come on and replace Hugo Rubio, who turns his thoughts now to next week in the second round of the competition. Congratulated by everybody on the Chilean bench. Zamorano. Bassey. It's 4-0. Chile are through again. Vera had got the decisive touch, and the Substitutes has come on and scored the 4th goal.
Well, he had a little bit of luck on the way through. I mean, he cannoned off a couple of defenders back into him and still went into his path. And in the end, he got through, and he took it very well. Here he comes, gets knocked out to him. There's a flick back, there's a flick back. Round the goalkeeper, slots it in.
man who played against England at Wembley in May '89. And he's come on and given Chile a very, very impressive insurance policy. With just over 12 minutes to go of this game. Jaime Vera, the man who plays his football in Greece, makes it 4-0. And to say Paraguay looked dispirited really is an understatement.
Yes, I think so, Gary. I think that it's just too much for them.
Zamorano, is this number 5? Pulls it back. Oh, how about that for a miss by Bessé?
The goalkeeper did very well on Zamorano, and Zamorano kept his end, pulled it square. And I've got a feeling it just lifted as Yáñez put his foot to it.
There was a foul by the Paraguayan substitute there. Look again at this miss kick. Zamorano had a real opportunity. Before that one went wide, pulled it back inside to Yáñez. The question now is how many are Chile going to score, Dom?
Yeah. Well, I think another one at least.
I suspect it might be 2 more. Maybe that's a tall order. There'll be a few tired limbs out there. They've done their job. But there's 1 or 2 substitutes on as well who want to get involved in the action and make a name for themselves. Yáñez. Zamorano. Vilches 1 possession, but Paraguay now not even beginning to contest 1 or 2 of the tackles that they were doing early on. They know it's all over for them. They'll be going back home tomorrow. Yáñez. Margas. Zamorano. Well, Seville want about £6 million for his signature, and his value surely has increased during this tournament.
He's looked a good centre forward. He's hard working. He works with the ball, he works without the ball, and he's good in the air. He's always looking to get his shots in.
Sanabria. Struway. Really sums up Paraguay's evening. Very disappointing finish by Guirland. A disappointed coach Carlos Giza, man who was in charge of Olympia, side which won the Libertadores Cup in '79. Temperature is plunging here in the Nacional Stadium in Santiago. There's quite a warm atmosphere amongst these Chilean supporters who are really enjoying this romp now by Chile, who come forward again with Yáñez. Mendoza. Yáñez. Zamorano was looking for that one again. Estay. About 8 minutes left. Chile 4, Paraguay 0. Chile have missed a penalty, and they're playing against 10 men. Well, the Chilean journalists will have plenty to write about in the morning. No shortage of incident in this game.
Well, in all the games, I mean, time and time again, there's been plenty to talk about. Some outstanding goals all the way through the tournament, and some good individual displays. I mean, Estay tonight has been easily my man of the match.
Zamorano feeding Estay. Zamorano goes to the back post. Estay turned one too many times. Even Chilavert looked slightly bedraggled.
Yes, I think the Paraguayans will they'll be glad now when it's all over.
They let in 4 against Argentina. They've let in 4 against Chile. And their few supporters have probably seen enough. Going off into the Santiago night to drown their sorrows. Who could have believed it would turn so sour for Paraguay after that 1-0 win over Peru? And then they thrashed Venezuela 5-0. But they've let in 8 goals now in their last 2 internationals and really have to go back to the drawing board. This Paraguay side built around the top club team in the country, Olympia. The side who lost this season's Libertadores Cup to Colo-Colo of Chile. Guirland. Sanabria. Don, we've seen most of the big sides now in the Copa. Have you seen anything tonight to suggest that Chile might be the team to steal the Copa from under the noses of Argentina and Brazil?
I think they'll go close. Obviously, I would think the favourites now are Argentina. But Chile won't be far away. The only thing about Chile is I just think that they leave holes in the defence. And if you get that and you play against a bit of quality, if you play against a Canigia or a Batistuta, then the problems are going to keep showing every now and again. Their attitude is super. They go forward all the time. If you're a good team, you can defend and you can attack. You can do both.
They've looked very solid tonight, but you have to say that's against a very ordinary Paraguayan side. Here's Yáñez. Great play, Zamorano. There are plenty of men open here. Oh, they want to walk this one in. Suárez, number 4 for Paraguay. We're inside the last 5 minutes of this game. I think the Peruvians are going to be wronged on. I think it's going to stay at 4-0.
I think they've just lost that killer's instinct now. I mean, that last attack, I mean, they must have got in 4 good positions around the goal to get the shot in. And because they know they're so well on top, they overdid it and lost their chance at the end.
Well, they're bound to be a little bit tired now. There was so much expectation placed around this Chilean side. And here's Yáñez, just bundled off the ball at the last.
You're never tired when you're winning, Gary. You're always tired when you're losing. I think it's just that they, for the sake of it, they are overconfident.
Chile just a couple of minutes away from wrapping up second spot in Group A and will qualify along with Argentina for the second stage of the competition. Argentina with a 100% record. Chile lost to Argentina in their third game, but they come back strongly to thrash Paraguay. At the moment 4-0, could even be more if they can find another goal in the dying moments. Paraguay are on their way home tomorrow, along with the Peruvians and Venezuelans.
I think, Gary, to be straight, the best two teams are coming out of this group, without a doubt. Argentina and Chile are easily the best.
And that really is a mouth-watering clash next week, the second meeting of Chile and Argentina, a match you'll be able to see live here on Screen Sport, like the rest of the Copa América 1991. We're inside the final minutes of this final Group A game. Chile 4, Paraguay 0. It really has been a very, very impressive night's work by Chile.
What we want, Gary, we want Brazil to come good, don't we? We need Brazil to do the things they used to do. The flair and the imagination. Beautiful individual skill, that's what we need.
Well, they sometimes say that the strongest sides in any competition start the slowest. Maybe the gloves come off next week. Yáñez. Just a few seconds of normal time remaining as Estay has it for Chile. There with that rather weak shot was Vera, who scored Chile's fourth goal, and it ends Chile 4, Paraguay 0, and Chile are through. Don, your reaction?
Yeah, well, I mean, easily the best team. They started properly, they went at the Paraguayans, they built the 2-0 lead, and then as soon as the Paraguayan player got sent off, that was the end of the game. The Paraguay, they fought hard, an honest team, but now they're back home.
Chile are through to the second phase of the competition. 4-0 they've beaten Paraguay. We'll be back after the break.
Well, Santiago in ferment, and the whole of Chile must be dancing with delight after that pulsating win. The full-time score, once again from the National Stadium, Chile 4, Paraguay 0. Paraguay out of the competition and Chile through to the next phase. Enough heat from Chile tonight, Don, not just to melt the snow on those mountains above Santiago, but Paraguay really got burnt.
Well, obviously, that's the result that everybody wanted, all the Chilean supporters. It's obviously it's going to keep the competition alive, because when the home club's there, the home crowd want to keep going and watching the games, and they thoroughly deserved it tonight.
I was losing track of the goal attempts in the second half. There was a spell inside of 4 minutes when Rubio alone could have had a hat-trick, and Chile 25 attempts on goal to Paraguay's 11. It could have been 10.
Oh yes, without a doubt. I mean, to a point at the end, in the last 10 minutes, they're a little bit casual about it all.
Well, we do see a red card there on the caption for Paraguay. We have to say that for 2/3 of the match, down to 10 men. But here are the goals once again from the 90 minutes. Rubio with the first after just 15 minutes in the first half.
Yeah, well, the ball's played into Zamorano, and he miscontrols it, but luckily it runs into Rubio. He shows all the skill, he sidesteps this defender here, and then slots it inside the goalkeeper's near post.
Well, Salah had made his intentions clear from the start. A draw would have sufficed Paraguay going into this game, but bringing in Yáñez to start the match, playing two wide men to feed Zamorano, and here he is, Ivan the Terrible, with the second on 18, his fourth goal of the competition, and he's now the joint leading scorer at Copa 91.
A great determined run by Pizarro, just pulled it back to the edge of the box. Zamorano just tucked it underneath the goalkeeper.
Into the second half, and Paraguay conceding a penalty, as you said at the time, Don, that referee got that absolutely right.
Well, it was just a clumsy challenge. I mean, he's not even looking at the ball. He just pushes Yáñez off the ball. It's a silly penalty.
However, Chilavert to the rescue, and a fine save from the
goalkeeper. Read it well, but there was no pace on the kick. I mean, he reads it well, he goes the right way, gets his hands behind the ball.
Second penalty missed at these championships. Bolivia yesterday missing the first, but that surely the goal of the tournament so far on 68 from Estay.
Well, that was a great cross to the back post. And Estay, who was my man of the match, this is a super volley with his left foot. Watches the ball all the way onto his foot, keeps the ball down and under the crossbar.
Textbook stuff then from the Chilean player. And by this stage in the match, absolutely toying with the Paraguayan defence. Zamorano this time sets up Vera to go around the keeper and provide Chile with number 4.
He did have the look of the ricochet, but he was very aggressive. He wanted to attack into the box, and he plays it in, knocks back. It's the defender, comes back to him, round the keeper. Super goal.
Well, it's hard to imagine that Paraguay were in second position at start of play, but once again, come the big match, and they've bottled it. Paraguay needing just to win from their last World Cup qualifier in '89. They would have gone to Italy instead of Colombia. They didn't, and they will not be going into the final 4 of the Copa '91, because the Group A table finishes looking like this, with all 5 nations having completed the 4 matches. Argentina 100%, and Chile with just that 1 defeat, edging out Paraguay. So the 2 nations then through from Group A. We know about that. From Group B tomorrow, it could well be Colombia. We've already put them into the final 4. That's not a mathematical certainty by any means. Ecuador, Uruguay and Brazil all on 3 points, still with everything to play for there as well. So whatever happens, make sure you've